We are here with Jas Shah, a builder, a consultant, a prolific fintech writer, and generally an important voice in the global fintech community. Hi, Jas. It's your first time in the summit, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
How has it been so far?
It's bigger than I expected. I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a little bit smaller, more niche, but
Yeah.
big. Lots of big companies. Lots
Interesting
of
conversations.
I've just bumped into about 15 people on the way here and then out of the panel, and just had so many different conversations around.
Okay.
Okay, liquidity, FX, but also
By all means.
what AI and stablecoin? What does that mean?
Yeah.
So it's like breadth of conversation,
Yeah.
but deep
You
conversations
you
as well.
spin many plates. What are you working on these days?
A few things, most of the things that I can't really speak about, but
Okay.
they are around the topics that you would expect. So lots of AI, some aspects of digital transformation,
Okay.
and there's some advisory work I'm doing.
Mina, I would presume to some extent.
There's a lot of MENA work, yeah, especially on the bringing digital banking to the
Okay.
region, and there's lots of banks who are trying to acquire a younger generation, and that means
Sure.
basically going from internet banking to mobile banking, which we've had here, but
Yeah.
there it's they're still getting there.
Sure. And is it a UX problem or challenge, or is it product liquidity? Where hurdles are?
It's a UX problem and it's a technology infrastructure problem.
Mm.
But in the region specifically, there aren't. I think if you held this summit there wouldn't be as many different providers doing kind of similar things. There's maybe one provider who does issuer processing of payments,
Okay.
one provider that provides a ledger. So the infrastructure is restrictive, which means it's a lot more difficult to build because there's not as much competition. So
Okay, maybe we
whereas,
should open shop.
oh yeah,
Actually, we do. We have an event in Dubai and so on. Cool stuff. So you sat in a stablecoin panel in a conference where its roots are in retail investing before it became a thing with GameStop and Robinhood and everyone knew about it. We were here a decade ago and more. How would you advise brokers or other providers here to go about stablecoins in terms of strategy? If you have any surprising or non obvious moves for them in terms of UX, how to offer it, how to issue it, with whom.
yeah. I mean, I think it's a difficult one from a prime brokerage point of view, but I would use first principles for product that I apply to consumer propositions, and I'd apply that here is what are your customers doing? What are your end clients doing? Like, make sure you know what's on their roadmap so that you know what you need to prep for and what you need to build. Because usually it's not, although stablecoin you can build very quickly, a lot quicker than you could build a digital bank. You could build a new stablecoin rail, issue a new currency. Although it's a lot quicker, you still need to plan. So it's speak to retail clients, institutional clients. I mean, even get them into a room, take them out for dinner, chat to them, and say, look, what are your challenges? What do you know about stablecoin? What are you interested in doing? What are you thinking about for next year? Okay, we've got this offering ready to go. Let's talk about how we can embed it. So it's really getting the customer feedback and speaking to customers directly.
From what you're hearing, are regulators there? Because in the financial services space, you need, a segregation of funds and other checkups before you can issue your own USDX.
Yeah, this is what came up in the panel
Yeah.
for people who were there. But yeah, regulation came up. It's just regulation came up, and it was uncertainty about regulation that came up specifically in things like
Right.
KYC, AML, on-chain checks versus who owns compliance. And I think it's still a challenge. I don't think it's solid, but I think the more adoption that happens, the more regulation will fit around what the use cases are across industry.
Yeah, we will wait for clarity, quote unquote.
This is wait and see. Yeah, wait. The past few years have been wait and see for investment. Now we'll wait and see for the stablecoin regulation.
Brilliant. So as we've said, this conference has its roots in retail investing with the IGs of the world and CMC markets and so on. And we talked about it earlier. A couple of years ago, fintech was a sideshow to this core activity. But as years go by, you can see intersection and blurring of lines between personal finance, investing, and banking. And from a product perspective, do you see any differentiators between someone like Revolut and Trading 212? Like, is there a niche that each of them is covering right now, and will it remain the same?
I mean, I think Revolut is the perfect example to bring up
Yeah.
in the topic of
Mika
this.
license, hiring from our industry in Cyprus.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean their growth is intense. I think the way that Nick looks at product is really interesting, but I think because he's a finance person at heart with the technology angle as a CEO, he looks at where is the opportunity. So I think he almost takes you know, a view that lots of CEOs of companies here would take, which is why I think there's over the next few years, I think Revolut maybe will become a bigger part of this conference. But I think they're talking about launching their own real estate investing platform for institutional investors plus retail investors.
Tokenized or otherwise or
This
both?
is this is the question. But I think they are looking at things like how do we build our own trading platform back end. Lots of Monzo I think use Seckle. Other neobanks use
Right.
other back end platforms. But I
Yeah.
think
Most of the providers could be found
it,
somewhere here.
it
GTN,
yeah,
CMC.
exactly. But I think, to your point, I think we will get to a point where Monzo, Starling, Revolut, uh, Tide, all of these Coconut, all of these other ones will start to go, okay, where are we losing margin? Have we got a big enough customer base that warrants building this tech ourselves? And they will build the tech themselves. And once they've built the tech, they can license the tech and come here as a, investment as a service platform, like
Yep.
many of the people here.
Yeah, we have tomorrow a panel about neobanks going wealth tech, and it wasn't as easy to get on stage the Monzos of the world to talk about what they're doing. So I
Yeah.
guess it's happening
Well, the,
precisely when they don't want to talk about it.
this, yeah,
It means that it's happening.
you know as well as anyone when you ask someone a question, they're like, "No, we're not available." It's like, "Oh, so that probably means you're doing
You
something."
will be available next
Yeah,
year
yeah, you can't
by the
talk about.
launch.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay, so there's a lot to talk about and unpack. We could have done this for the rest of the day. I would like to wrap up with a half personal question. I'm an avid reader slash admirer of fintech under the hood. So first, thank you for the work that you're doing
well,
by
thank you.
and illuminating concepts and processes in the industry. How do you go about putting together a long form piece? Would you like to share some of the work,
Yeah,
the process, the writing process? In another part
yeah,
of my life, I'm a writer of fiction, and everyone talks about the writing process.
yeah,
So
yeah,
let's bring that. Let's import this
yeah.
concept to here. So how does your writing process looks like?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of meanders, to be honest. So I will come up
It
with
doesn't
a
show on the.
yeah, it'll meander, and then I'll go back and do
Okay.
multiple revisions. So usually I'll come up with a what do I think people should know? Like what is happening in the industry that people aren't talking about? And that's usually the angle I'll go in at. If people are talking about, Klarna's issued USD using Stripe, Bridge, and Tempo, and 15 different fintech writers are talking about it, I'll usually wait for some of the talk to subside and then go what has been missed, maybe what aren't people talking about as part of this topic, or what's the deeper thing to go into, like, okay, they're issuing USD, what does it mean, what happens if every fintech issues their own currency,
Yeah.
how does it get homogenized, how does it get, that's how I'll think about the topic. And then I'll go, okay, how do I soft intro into the topic?
The puns, the
Yeah,
analogies.
yeah. The puns will usually get peppered in and out because I'll just walk. I'll walk to the shops and think, oh, like stable coin, stable roller coaster. Oh, I'm like, oh, what if it just kind of hits me sometimes, and then sometimes it's I'll kind of look at the title and try and
Sure.
force it a bit. But yeah, the process is very it meanders, and then I'll write the structure. So I'll go introduction, background. What do I need timeline? Like, how does this work?
Yeah.
And then like the closeout, and then I'll go in and start fleshing everything out. Then I'll go in and add the kind of meat onto the bones, and then I'll go back and usually I end up writing 7 or 8 thousand words. Then I'll have to go back and strip some stuff out
Okay.
because 10,000 words every 2 weeks, people aren't
A long
people
form.
aren't like you. They're
Yeah.
not happy to read a fiction, like a very
Right.
detailed
No, but
long
they can
form.
listen when they do the dishes.
This is it. Yeah,
Sometimes
this is
I
it.
do that.
Yeah.
The Substack automated reader is always like, they
Ah,
call you
yeah.
Yes, by the way, I
Oh,
think.
they do. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Shaw.
That's I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you collaborate with or you write about companies and it says somewhere that it was in collaboration with them, was their initiative, or do you reach out to them and inform them that you're about to do a deep dive, so they might as well open up the data center or
This is actually I've the inbound has come from me just doing it.
right?
So I started. I think I wrote about Stripe, I was just really interested in where they were going. It was
Yes.
2 years ago. I was like,
BVNK also.
yeah, BVNK. So I wrote about Stripe, and I was like, oh, people don't really know what Stripe does.
No.
They incorporate companies, they do risk and fraud, as well as processing, and they do card issuing and finance for consumers. And this was just before the stablecoin
Yeah.
entry, but I was like, they're probably going to do this, and this as well.
Yeah.
And then it was off the back of that that companies kind of reached out and went, we really liked how you described the product stack. There aren't many product people writing about
Yeah.
what a product looks
This
like.
depth. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, can you do the same for us? And I'm like, yep, I'll do it. But the caveat is I need to do it. It can't be you tell me what to write. I'll write it, and you can review it. And if I'm swearing too much, you can remove this.
So the tolerance
Yeah.
was
exactly.
high enough. Respected your integrity and freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it shows. To be fair, it shows.
Thank you.
Jas Shah, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Bye bye. Thanks.
Thank you.